Hey, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell. So every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Hey, also, be sure to hit the super chats, the super thanks, and you can also become a member of the channel now. And as a member, you can get perks, and it's only like $2, $5, $10. There's different levels, different tiers. But you get to, comment on some videos. I'm only going to have member-only comments. I mean, from now, when people comment, and if you comment early, right now, I try to interact with you guys as much as possible because I like having dialogue. Want to know what you think, where you come from, because sometimes I will even I have pinned people's comments to the top of my videos so that people can see it, because people come in with things I didn't even know, and with intellectual ideas and thoughts and facts and things of that nature. So I put it to the top because I don't want stuff like that to get lost, because I try to invoke thought, critical thinking, people to learn and to teach. That's the point of the videos I post for the most part. So I want to keep that going. So like I said, sometimes I'm gonna do videos where only members can see the videos. And sometimes I'm gonna do videos that only members can comment on the videos. Just never know when I may do that. I know I plan on implementing that soon because I'm gearing to make changes to the channel once I get to I'm just gonna say 1,000 subscribers. Once I'm able to be, 1,000 subscribers, be able to become, get the channel truly monetized. Then I'm going to make changes to help upgrade the channel, upgrade the quality and everything else. But it's a journey. Been doing it for a while. Just got to keep it going. But anyway, with that being said, let's get into the topic. We're back on Fani Willis. As you know, she testified last Thursday, I guess on her behalf, about her relationship with Nathan Wade. You got some people who feel she did a good job. You got a lot of people, especially I know a lot of fellas, thought she got up there and embarrassed herself. And not because she's a intelligent, strong black woman who's the district attorney and people just hating on her. Has nothing to do with that. It was her whole demeanor from the time she walked into the courtroom and got up on the stand. Now, they say she wasn't able to watch Nathan Wade's testimony. I find that hard to believe, because up until the moment she walked into that courtroom, nobody knew she was going to testify. I don't even think her lawyers knew that she was going to testify. But something had to have been said to piss her off just by the way she walked into that courtroom and, stomping hard, had some in her hand and threw it on the lawyer's table and said, no, I'm going to, take the subpoena. I'm not going to revoke the subpoena. I'm going to allow the subpoena so they can subpoena me to testify. I need to get up there and talk. Now, she's a lawyer. She's the district attorney. She knows the pros and cons of getting up there and testifying. And I think if she would have kept her emotions out of the testimony, she would have probably did better. But because she got up there, and I personally feel she got up there to like throw shots at Nathan Wade over their relationship. I really do, because of the things she was saying about how he said that only thing a woman can do is make him a sandwich, that he was pretty much hating on her because she felt that she was his equal, and he didn't like that. So she said it was some hard, drag down arguments about that, about pretty much where he felt women were in society, well, in his life, where they stood, where they belonged, etc., etc., etc. So I feel shit like that because, like I said, she threw digs at him, talked about his money, talked about his cancer to where he couldn't perform. Talk about paying his money back because daddy said you better have money in your account. When you're dealing with a man, when you go on a date, you always have money, always have money in your pocket. So she talking about she paid him back. every time they went out, which makes no sense in the natural realm of things, because if y'all are arguing like that, and then this man pays for the trip, and then you pay him back, that makes no sense. Because if y'all that damn pissed off, why are you even going on a trip with the man anyway? Out of the country a couple of times, meeting his family, his mother and his sisters. Why are you even, you know what I'm saying, bringing him supposedly to your daddy's house, or the house that your daddy living in, whatever the case may be? Why y'all that dang gonna be close if y'all having these kind of problems over his male chauvinism, I guess? Make it make sense. But she was fiery. She was up there talking, and she talked to the point to where I think she dug herself in the hole, talking about this cash, where she got it from, where she thinks she got it from, where she didn't get it from, how much she kept in the house. Money she used for her campaign. She used that money. Daddy said keep 6 months of money in the house, but the most you ever kept was $15,000. So that shows you only listen to your dad a little bit, but not total. But anyway, so I'm on thehill.com, and it talks about the same old narrative that we hear from our sisters in America, that they can't get a fair shake. They're always scrutinized, looked at different, and can't never get ahead because of racism and prejudice and all that, and male chauvinism, which is funny, makes me wonder, why are Black American men and women at odds with each other over anything? Because the same thing that a Black American woman can say, a Black American man can say too. Because I know plenty of times where guys, case in point, a few years ago, I'm gonna say over the past couple of decades, there have been city council men in Dallas, Black American men. One guy was in his 70s. Another guy, they were maybe in their 40s and 50s. All went to jail over doing things that we know that white politicians and councilmen have been doing since the beginning of time. But they got caught. They went to jail. I think one dude died of cancer, the other dude died of old age. I mean, stress got to them. But they was out in the spotlight, out in the forefront, getting scrutinized, talked about. It's funny that after one of them went to jail, they changed the law for how much city councilmen can make per year, and not just, because I think it was only making like $12 a meeting, and you have like a couple of, maybe one meeting a week, and you are deciding the fate of your city. So the money didn't justify the work. So you got people trying to find ways to get paid, take bribes from companies and stuff. Again, which has been done since the beginning of time. So the brother go to jail, and they say, oh, okay, we need to change the rules and start paying them a salary. Because it seems like there's a lot of these people, doing things that's corrupt, and they're right. They do need to get paid. But you still got to go to jail. So we've been going through the same thing y'all been going through. You just take it more emotional than we do. Publicly, we get upset and we try to figure out a way. We're like, okay, this ain't working right. So we try to figure out ways to make it right. If not, we'll just go along with the status quo or try to find another system. It's just that simple. And we don't be all out in the forefront yelling and hollering and trying to talk down about people and showing that we strong Black men and upset and having attitude, sassy and angry, like we burning holes through people chest, like you really gonna be able to, gonna do something physical and like it's gonna help your cause. We don't get down like that. But unfortunately, a lot of our sisters do. And also, just like brothers have, like I said, they got caught doing things they shouldn't have been doing. Got some of our sisters being caught doing things that they shouldn't be doing. And yes, when you don't control the world, when you don't control where you work, you are not in charge of the judicial system. You're not in charge of the political systems or the political parties. You're not in charge of the city council. That's ran by them folk. They control that, not us. We can just be a part of it. And when you're a part of somebody else's system, you have to go along with the rules. Like, I work in the medical field, and I work in places where they got rules of, let's say you got to be at work at a certain time. There are people, and I mean, I work with a lot of sisters that they come into work when they feel like it. You need to be at work, let's say at 8. They'll show up at 8:15, 8:30, 9 o'clock. Like it ain't nothing. And they just come straight to work with no reprimand, no repercussion, no nothing. And they keep doing it. But then if you say something about it, the first thing they're going to do is say, well, so-and-so, they're going to get defensive. They're going to say, so-and-so is doing this and so-and-so is doing that. Or I told y'all why I was going to be late today. Or I got kids, blah, blah, blah. I already told you about this. And you come up with every reason why you are late, but you signed up to be at work at 8 o'clock. So it doesn't matter what's going on outside in your outside life. Don't matter what's going on in this building with somebody else, because they will be taken care of too. But right now we're talking about you and your actions and how we're going to rectify this or correct this. Period. Let's stick to the topic. And so that's what it seems like what is going on with Fani Willis and all her supporters. Guys, I am needing to see a story on some positive black women, or some positive stories on black American women in power right now. Not about you buying more houses than anybody else, because that could be a curse, a gift and a curse. Because yeah, you can have more houses than men, but a lot of times when men are single, they ain't trying to get a house. They want to get married and have a family before they get a house. Because they ain't got to prove to them that they are strong and independent. That's just our job. A lot of these interest rates in these houses now are astronomical. If you don't pay, 20% down on your house, you got to pay this extra insurance on the house. So, and also when you buy a house, when something breaks down, you got to fix it, or you got to hire somebody to fix it. That costs money, that costs time. When anything just doesn't go right, if you can't get in there and do it yourself, you got to get somebody else to do it. And then don't forget, you got to clean your house, cook, wash dishes, keep the bathrooms clean, wash clothes, all that kind of stuff. You just add it on to it, and you pay your taxes and all that. So yeah, it ain't nothing about that. But like I said, I need to see. I'm gonna be looking for stories, trying to bring them on this channel, because I want to see positive. I want to bring positive stories about Black American women, and I want y'all to watch them, and I want y'all to comment on them and share the video and subscribe and all that kind of stuff, because people love to see stuff like this. People love to see train wrecks, but we need to see more positivity too. Because I'm tired of seeing the stories of, who was that? Tiffany Henry up there in Dalton, who right now, the word is that the city is $7 million in debt. The word is that some TV or radio station up there requested like a Public Information Act, filed a Public Information Act form with the city, and it has been ignored. So then they took it to the courts, and the courts told the city, you got 35 days to release this information, because you're dealing with taxpayers' money. So it's got to be public information, whether you like it or not. If they don't do it within 35 days of the filing, then all hell's gonna break loose. And I don't think that system want to do that. and she's being sued because she fired a police chief wrongly for no reason, just because his wife is friends with one of her enemies or opponents. Silly stuff like that, man. Say that she done got rid of like some of the businesses in the city because they won't help finance her campaign. Also, who else? LaToya Cantrell, she the mayor of New Orleans. They trying to investigate her for security guard that she paid and having an affair with and paying him money for hours that there's no way in hell that he worked, and they got video surveillance. It showed he wasn't with her during those hours. And then you also got Cori Bush, who they say she paid her husband so much money being a security guard, and that's a conflict of interest. And then you got Fani Willis right now. That's what's in the news right now for Black American women. But I know there are better stories than that. But in the meantime, let's get to the story. Like I said, this is from The Hill. I gave you a long enough monologue, and this reads: Fani Willis's testimony evokes long-standing frustrations for Black women leaders. Let's just go ahead and jump into it because I got some stuff to break down. Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis is used to prosecuting high-profile, challenging cases, but as she paired questions about her own personal conduct from the witness stand against the legal team for defendants her office has accused of election interference, many Black women recognize a dispiriting scene. Quote, "It absolutely feels familiar. There is no secret that the common sentiment among Black women in position of power is that they must overperform to be seen as equals to their counterparts," said Jessica T. Ormsby, a family litigation attorney in Washington, D.C. area. See, one problem with being a professional, once you become a professional, you really cannot keep a chip on your shoulder. And you can't let your emotions take advantage of, take over you. You gotta keep a level head, keep everything business, keep everything professional, and you'll get through it. You gotta learn how to suppress your emotions and your biasness of what you feel, how you feel people are treating you, because no one cares. I tell my daughters this, been telling this since they were born, as long as they can understand. Nobody cares how mad you get. Nobody cares how sad you get. All they want to do is see results. That's it. You can think it's unfair. You can think it's too much. You can think that somebody else is getting away with something that you can't get away with. It don't matter what you feel or how right or wrong you think it is. People want to see results. So what do? You either go along with it or you do like most of us do. You make plans to change your situation, to try to find a better situation to where that you are more appreciated and respected for the work that you do. Period. Bottom line, this is the life you chose. You, like I said earlier, you don't run the country. So don't get mad when those that run the country scrutinize you more for what you do and what you don't do and what is perceived that you have or have not done. Then they're going to criticize themselves, i.e. their own people. You get that through your head. What did Neely Fuller say? Until you realize about racism, white supremacy, or how it works, or understand it, you'll never understand the world. You'll never understand anything when it comes to this country. So just remember that. So yeah, if you feel you gotta overperform, we've always told our kids that, look at her, we've been told that, look, you gotta do 10 times better than white folk. So that's the thing. But it should not discourage you to do anything, because if you got love for your field, love for what you do, it really don't matter if you gotta do things 1 time, 10 times better than anybody else. You just do it. And you do it for the love of the game. And trust me, all your benefits and blessings will come later. Not in heaven like y'all might think I'm talking about. I'm talking about down here, because eventually you'll start figuring out how to benefit from anything that you do, anything you have learned, any opportunity that you have gained while working under a system. Here, Miss Willis is being scrutinized for things that are not directly related to her job performance in ways we see other Black women regularly picked apart, Ormsby said. So basically you're saying this happens all too often and it happens regularly. So if it happens regularly, you should have seen this coming. And to put the, what do you call it? The blame where it belongs. Remember, Fani Willis was not supposed to testify. No one knew she was going to testify until she walked into that courtroom and started making demands, showing her tail, as the old folks say. So she brought this on herself. She as a prosecutor, as an attorney, know, like I said earlier, the pros and cons of testifying, getting up on that witness stand. She should have never done it. She say it doesn't matter what everybody else can say, because what it's about is, but I think she wanted to testify because of the perception of her. Not that if they could prove that she did what they claim she did. Wasn't about that. It was about how the information is put out there, how it's making her look. And she should have just let that go. It should just let that go and let everybody talk. And then if things come out and if her and her team feel like it's not looking good for her, then if you need to go and testify, you do it. But again, I think she only testified trying to go back at Nathan Wade, because funny how she didn't testify Friday. And she was in the middle of testimony. Luckily, the day was over. So they stopped, and then they said, we don't need a testimony. She's not gonna testify. So it says Willis testified during an extraordinary hearing that could result in her office being removed from the state's election interference case against former President Donald Trump. She was questioned Thursday about her relationship with the attorney leading her office as a prosecution, Nathan Wade. You think about that. You think about conflict of interest one way, how beneficial, but what about conflict of interest or conflict the other way? The way she got on the stand and talked about Nathan Wade, she pretty much, like I said, emasculated him, threw him on the bus, took shots at him. But that guy works for you. That's what I mean by emasculating a man. He works for you now. So you can get out there in public and try to publicly embarrass him. Claim you didn't, but hey, we all know that's a lie. Get up there and publicly embarrass this man, and then he has to turn right back around come Monday morning and clock into work and work for you and look you in the face and keep it professional, which he probably will. Which once he does that, that's gonna piss off Fani Willis even more. And she probably jump back on the stand next week and take more shots at him, because she gonna see that she can't phase him. He's a grown man. He done already told you he done been in many cabins. And no, Fani Willis was not a person he went on the cabin with. Matter of fact, I went on the cabin in 2023. Me and her was dating. Did you go with Fani Willis? No. You could have asked, who'd you go with? But they didn't do that. They said, we're going to leave that open. We're going to leave that wide open for her to see. And for her to, stew. And so her to come back, and so her to get up here and want to testify and just mess her case up. Willis and Wade have acknowledged that they had a personal relationship, but have denied any improper conduct. It ain't really about the actual conduct. It's just about how it's perceived. There are things that you just cannot do to where people perceive that that y'all are doing something wrong. Let me see if I can see. I was looking for a comment on. I don't think I have time to find. No, I ain't got time to find. I'll come back to it later. So let's continue. Still, few people who find themselves in such circumstances have the most intimate details of their lives aired out in public. Again, number one, you are trying Donald Trump, former president of the United States. No matter how much you like him, how much you hate him, if you think he's racist, if you think he's a shrewd businessman, you think he's what do you call that? One of them reality TV stars, whatever. The man was a former president of the United States. The man was a businessman. He got ties and connections, business-wise, political-wise. He's had them pretty much all his life. And here you come. Remember this black woman who's going to get scrutinized because you see it coming because it happens all the time. Going to get scrutinized by the former president of the United States. Here you come thinking that he's just going to let you skate. By your own admission, you knew he wasn't going to let you skate. In interviews with the Associated Press, many black women leaders expressed frustration and disappointment that public attention has turned from the merits of the criminal case to the personal conduct of the black woman overseeing the prosecution. For them, the court challenge to Willis echoes familiar experiences of tests of their authority, competence, and character. I'm quite sure that Trump's lawyers have dug in to find dirt on everyone, probably including the judge in this case, to try to get the people thrown off and then to try to get the court case thrown out. That's a job. The lawyers. Fani Willis knows this. That's why she definitely should not have got up on that stand and tried to run the show, which is what she thought she was going to do. I love that she stood up for herself, but I hate the fact that she had to. I hate the way she did it, said Melanie Campbell, president and CEO of the National Coalition on Black Civil Participation. Is that a real business? She said that when she saw video of the testimony, she felt, why are you all treating her like she's on trial? Because she is. Because she is. In that standpoint, this has nothing to do, the thing about it has nothing to do with the 2020 election trial. Nothing at all. It has to do with, is she competent enough? Or can you trust her enough? Is she ethical enough to be a part of the 2020 election trial? It could have been someone trying, she could have been on that stand fighting ethical questions, dealing with a different case, dealing with the YSL case. But Young Thug and YSL ain't got them lawyers like Trump and them got. They ain't got them connections, ain't got that kind of money. Matter of fact, that's something that all my brothers and sisters who like to, listen and watch these young rappers and think that hell, I was young too and thought, NWA and them had money with the big gold chains and you know what I'm saying, and the Guess jeans and Levi's and stuff like that. And, I thought they had money too and couldn't find they didn't. Had to go out and make their own money. Hell, y'all ain't got that kind of money. Ain't got them kind of connections. Hell, y'all lawyers are getting dismissed and because they're trying to get dismissed because they're not only making $15,000 for the trial or $55,000 and so that's not enough for them to make money because they can't try other cases. Shoot, why I said y'all got them lawyers that's posting guns and listening to rap music and getting arrested, dealing with criminals, enterprises outside of the court case. Shoot, those are YSL lawyers. Trump lawyers, you don't see nothing like that. Yeah, I hope you understand what I'm saying here. I hope you can get it. I hope it's hitting you guys to understand. We all not playing the same game. Black women feel like we're under attack, and that's a fact, Campbell said. Nah, that's an opinion. Because here we all okay, that's a fact, but black men are under attack too. We all under attack. So we might as well just work together. Work together business-wise, and work together as a family. Not saying we partners. Not in the marriage sense. Not saying we partners at all. Because I'm a husband, you're a wife. There's a hierarchy. You got God, the Messiah, then the husband, then the wife, then the children. That's scripture. Just keep it a buck. Keep it a buck. Not saying that you don't matter and your opinion and your contribution and everything about you don't matter, because everything about you matters. And it's supposed to be a blessing to the whole scheme of things. But there's no such thing as equal because we all have different roles. So how can you be equal if your roles are different? Willis, who has a reputation as an incisive trial attorney, was visibly upset when she took the stand Thursday. Yes. To reject allegation that she improperly profited from the prosecution because of the relationship. It is a lot of district attorneys said of the allegations in court filings. You've been intrusive into people's personal lives. You're confused. You think I'm on trial, Willis testified. No, they don't. They're trying to get you off of a trial. So they got to come at you, like doing everything they can to get you dismissed. I mean, I ain't saying don't fight for your life, but you need a better lawyer. You need a better PA people that can help you put, tell your side of the story. These people are on trial for trying to steal an election in 2020. I'm not on trial no matter how hard you try to put me on trial. What they got to do with Price Tea in China? For many black women, the inquiries into Willis's romantic and financial life are rife with tropes and accusations, often unfairly leveled at black women. Oh, shout out to R. Kelly. And he in prison. Shout out to Bill Cosby. Then they put him in prison. Shout out to Harvey Weinstein. Is it Harvey Weinstein? Ain't he in prison? It sounded like some men that got put in jail too. They done got put in jail. Y'all just get accused of, sleeping people the wrong time. Kira Bradford Gray, a partner at the law firm Montgomery McCracken in Philadelphia, found the questions about Willis' personal life disgusting. She also said the episode had disturbing implications for black women in leadership roles. I can't imagine a world where we have to continue to be treated like this as we seek leadership roles and we do them well. And that's what I want to see. Those that do them well, who are not out there being emotional and being detrimental to their own case. Natasha Brown, co-founder of voting right group Black Voters Matter, despaired of the fact that Willis was having to answer questions about whether she has money, whether she has cash or not, and why she has cash, who she sleeps with, who is she flying on airplanes. We see it's not that simple. You're trying to make it like just cut and dry, like, oh, they just going after her, just want to know her personal life. They're trying to connect the dots to see the timeline of when it happened. But if it would have never, think about it now, if it never would have happened in the first place, it wouldn't be here. Trump would be on trial and you wouldn't even know, I wouldn't even know who Fani Willis is. Fani Willis could walk by me not right now, because I know what she looked like, been looking at her for the last 2 weeks. But before this, Fani Willis and Nathan Wade could walk by me together, holding hands, hand in hand, kissing each other at the airport, and I wouldn't know who they are. Wouldn't even pay attention to them. But because y'all chose to do it at the wrong time, that's the problem. So what's this really about, Brown added? When white power, particularly white men, are being held to account, the first thing to do is to disqualify the people that are holding them accountable, especially when those people are black women. Yes, because they're trying to get you off their back. Tell you how them folk, or the powers that be, stay in power and keep people at bay. They keep something in their back pocket about you. They look for something, they find some kind of dirt, then they got something to hold you over. They keep that trump card, no pun intended. Just in case you try to get out of line, just in case you try to, circumvent the system, buck the system, they got something, they'll keep something on you. So when it's time for them to get rid of you, then they'll go ahead and pull that card out. It's not that hard. He has been indicted 4 times. I'll say scrutiny of Willis's personal life has diverted attention away from the allegations against Trump. He has been indicted 4 times in the last year, accused in Georgia and Washington, D.C. of plotting to overturn his 2020 election loss to Democrat Joe Biden, and in Florida of hoarding classified documents like Joe Biden did, and in Manhattan of falsifying business records related to hush money paid to porn actor Stormy Daniels on his behalf. Trump has railed against individual prosecutors, judges, and the legal system as a whole, but he reserves special, often coded rhetoric for his attacks on women and people of color. Well, I just say stay out his way. Know what you gotta do in circumstances like this? Do like some black folks do when they get ready to try to sell their house and get their house appraised. You get rid of all the blackness in your house. You find you some white friends, white lawyer, somebody to come in your house and show your house and be a representative. So when the appraiser comes in to appraise your house, pretty much guarantees you're going to get fair market value, if not more of a market value for your home, appraisal for your home, than you would if you was a black family with all the Black Lives Matter, Black History Month type of posters and pictures on your wall. Do the same thing here. Since you know that the powers that be, the white powers that be and races and all them people are going to scrutinize you and be unfair and biased and judgmental towards you, step aside and want the white man and white woman do this for you. Nah, I don't think you would. I wouldn't either, because I got to this position. But again, I'm going to cross my T's and dot my I's and make sure that there's nothing that they can come back and get me for. And we're going to go forward, and I'm going to try this case, and we're going to do our best to win it and just keep it upon the preponderance of the law, of the facts and the evidence and nothing else. Quote, Donald Trump knows he can make an easy target for his base out of a black woman, said Brittany Packnett Cunningham, a racial equality activist and podcast host. But we should recognize that across many indictments, this particular attack to disqualify through her personal activities is uniquely pointed. Of all the prosecutions that he had endured, this is not the approach he has taken, but he took that particular approach with a black woman. How do you know that? Because this is based on quote unquote factual evidence. This only came out really because Nathan Wade was getting a divorce. And the wife put some stuff out there, and they put two and two together and said, aha, I think we got something on it. Let's jump on it. This had nothing to do with them just going out there and saying, oh, it's a black woman, let's just destroy it. Because they do, I think they do it to everybody. It's just that they actually got a spark that lit the fuse. Period. The testimony from Willis also reminded many of similar public questioning of black women's leadership, including the recent ouster of former Harvard University President Claudine Gay. Now, you know because she said something against them Jew folks. I don't give that. It ain't got nothing to do with being a woman. First of all, you LGBT and you're a black woman, and you going against the untouchables. Good luck with that one. And then they came out and said you were plagiarizing some stuff. So, again, you try to get into the forefront of something. You wanted to be in the spotlight, but you forgot that there was something that they can come back and get you on. And so the confirmation hearings for Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. Well, you was trying to sit there and say you didn't know what a woman was, which had everybody laughing at you or looking at you like, what the heck is wrong with you? You can't define what a woman is? Yeah, we know. You know you're gonna get scrutinized for that. I don't give a doggone what the alphabet community is doing or trying to put in front of us. That is a no-no. Images from the court proceedings also reflect many of our day-to-day experiences, defending ourselves against a sea of individuals who do not share our background and harbor biases, both implicit and explicit. Ormsby said, you say that with Christopher Darden when he was trying OJ. Because he was brother. But somehow, just because he was trying OJ, now he's no longer black. He was part of black folk. But then you got Johnny Cochran, he was black. You had a team of white people too. So I mean, how do you decide who's blacker than the other person? On Friday, Willis's team did not call her back to the stand. Like I said, I think they didn't do it because she made her point on Friday. I think they realized that she made herself look bad on Thursday. So I'm gonna need you to sit this one out. While the court weighs whether she will be disqualified from the criminal case, it remains largely in limbo. We're not talking about the things that actually matter, which include but are not limited to bringing this country at least a tiny step back from the brink of fascism. No, instead, we're evaluating a black woman's looks, character, and professionalism when all she did was do her job, Cunningham said. Again, it has nothing to do with her. And that's the problem I have sometimes with the ladies. You fail to hold yourself or to accept accountability for your actions. Just because you are trying somebody, putting somebody else on trial, does not mean you are above reproach. You did something that seemed unethical. There's like a law or something in a lot of, I get this from Judge Joe Brown from his podcast, he was saying like with ethics, there's just, you can't perceive to be doing something wrong, even if it's not, you're doing nothing wrong. Even the perception of doing something wrong is, because all these people here who's on Fani Willis's team, vouching for her. Have y'all ever been in a situation like that? If so, put yourself out there. Don't just sit there and talk the talk. Put yourself out there and tell me your business. Tell me like, hey, I done slept with a lawyer before that worked for me, or slept with a lawyer that I worked for, or the judge or district attorney or something like that. Oh yeah, I do it all the time. We have a relationship, everything like this. Put it out there. You're not gonna put it out there because you don't want to be looked at a certain way either. But I'm sure you understand what she's going through because you've probably been through that. Let's see, but it's not just about her doing her job. Again, it's a perception of, did she do anything unethical which could jeopardize any court case or how the court is perceived. It's something as simple as when my daughters were playing softball, like in high school. My older daughter playing softball in high school. They were told that they couldn't wear the uniforms outside of school. They can wear them at school in practice or at the games, but when they leave the game, basically they either had to change clothes in the car or they had to go straight home. They couldn't go to any store. If they are seen anywhere in public with the uniform on, they can get in trouble with suspension of games and even up to maybe get kicked off the team. And you might think, man, they kind of strict on that. But it's not that you do something or going to do something. It's the fact that something may just happen. And when you got something on that represents the school, then the school could be scrutinized. Then the school has to go through a bunch of stuff that they have nothing to do with. And they got to defend themselves because you are a student of such and such school. That's why. It had nothing to do with being an athlete, had nothing to do with being a black girl on a softball team or being a girl on a playing sport, nothing. That's just the rules of the school. It's no different here. It may not have been anything technically wrong with their relationship except that she thought she was his equal and got pissed off when he said, "You're not. Go in there and make me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with a pickle on the top of that sun gun right now." They gotta look past that. It says the standard by which they are judged with their actions scrutinized at every turn just seems to be a little different. Not a little, a lot different than what I see of our male counterparts, Bradford Gray said. I wish there would be a day that women stand together and say we want the same bar treatment that men get. How about just Black Americans as a whole stick together? Because no matter how you try to separate yourselves from us, and some of us fellas who try to separate ourselves from y'all, in the end, we end up with the same treatment. There is a hierarchy. So yes, you may be scrutinized more, which really goes to the point that you need some protection. You need somebody to take them bullets for you, like a man, like a husband, like a father and a brother, an uncle, cousin, if you will. That when people are trying to throw shots at you, you ain't out there. You ain't out there taking them. Like in war, any kind of battle, ain't nobody trying to see no woman on the front line. I don't give a damn about what that movie, what it called, The Woman King Says. That man, please, that ain't real life. I mean, the movie was half, but I mean, that ain't how the world really goes. Ain't how the world really goes at all. Because you see, it ain't like they still around running things. You got men out there in the battles. Men out there fighting for whatever reason, burning off their testosterone. Not y'all. Y'all supposed to be weaker vessels to shoot, act like it. You can have your job and your position, but you got to remember, when the going gets tough, you need somebody out there on that front line for you. But if you want to be out there, don't get mad if one of them bullets hit you. One of them strays or one get a direct shot and injure you. Don't get mad. We can try to help you and heal you and pat you back together, but the damage is done. So you better have all the protection you can get and get in line. But like I'm saying, you just can't. There's certain things you can and cannot do on the job, relationship wise. I can go back when I was in high school. I worked at a grocery store, and I remember there was a guy. Let's see, he worked either perishables or produce. White dude had an old truck, and there was a girl who worked in the little cashier's office, and they were dating. I think they were dating, engaged, or whatever. And when they said they was going to get married, they couldn't do it because of the bylaws of the job. Now they couldn't say, "Oh, y'all just doing this because we just, young white couple trying to do something, and we're just lowly perishable in cash office workers. Y'all hating on us." No, not just the bylaws. So what they end up doing, I think they end up quitting. Yeah, they end up quitting and going somewhere else to work. Or one quit and one still was there. Then they end up, riding off in the sunset. But shoot, they used to leave work every day. They get in that truck and she be up against them and, sitting up against, because it's a bench seat. Like I said, the old truck. And I can remember seeing them drive off in the parking lot. But again, once they got ready to be married, they knew, company-wise, policy-wise, they couldn't do it. So they had to respect the game. Why? Because they want to make sure there's no favoritism. Hell, even, I know we're even working at the hospital, that nurses and techs could not date. They couldn't be caught dating. And Shona Hill couldn't be married because there's a conflict. There's a conflict there because a nurse is a superior to the tech or to the aide. So you can't do that. In a lot of places, they don't want families working together. They just don't want any kind of conflicts that could quite possibly interfere with the job. So yeah, it's a lot coming out about their personal lives and the money they spend and how they date and where they went and this, that, and the third. But the problem is, like I said, it could be a conflict to where she may just have to recuse herself, or Nathan Wade just might have to recuse himself from this trial just because you see that there, just because she got on the stand and did what she did, how she did, there could be a conflict because she showed that she was pissed off at him about stuff, about things that he said and the things he believed that were contradictory to how she felt. And she didn't like it. And she showed that she didn't like it and she put it out there. So now, there you go. There you go. Like I say, it's just company policy. But anyway, that's all I got for this story. Hey, y'all, man, like I said, I'm ready to see some positivity in the community now. This is going on, too far. And it's not even over because they may have to go back and do closing arguments. I believe they say this coming week or the week after. But they're going to do something about it and get it resolved. I don't think no matter how it turns out, everybody, them two, are going to lose somehow, some way with this. And it's not a good look. And I sure hate it for them. I love to see brothers and sisters, do well, get out there, get their business going, or, get out there, get professional, their careers going. That's what I'm trying to say. And, moving up the ladder and doing great things. But I tell you one thing we need to do, since all these people, got these leaders, quote unquote, black American leaders out there, we need to start taking over like real infrastructures and not just things like, what did I say this woman was? So I can see it real quick. What she was? Family. Okay, she's an attorney. Okay, Jessica T. Ormsby is an attorney. So I don't know, is she part of a black, like a black partnership? Let's see who else. There was one I wanted to see. I don't see it. Come on. Don't take that long. CEO, what's it called? Melanie Campbell, President and CEO of the National Coalition on Black Civic Participation. What is that? What is, I ain't knocking it because, you got a company that's helping Black folks. That's great. But my question is, in the grand scheme of things of infrastructure, wealth building, what is that? How is that as a whole going to do? How's that going to help us close the racial wealth gap, which shouldn't be a topic of discussion, but increase Black people's economic position in this country? How is that going to help? Because I don't see, this is not an oil company, it's not an electric company, an energy company, not a car company, not a company that manufacture parts. I'm sure we got some people that sell clothes, which, hey, I do the same thing. Don't forget, marlonmorale.com. I got perfume, I got silk garments, silk scarves, silk head scarves, scarves, beard care products, and more. Purses, everything. You can go in there. Luxury items. It's the same items that you will see. Well, yeah, the same quality of items that you see on these luxury, these major name brands. Like, for instance, I got a silk scarf, nice size silk scarf, like 180 centimeters square. That on certain websites that I will not name because I don't want to, don't want to get tagged or striked or looked at, that it will cost you anywhere from $500 to $1,500 for the same material, and we have it at a fraction of that same thing. Kid you not. Go on there and look it up. I say Campbell, CEO of that, and let me see, Kelly Bradford Gray, she's a partner at the law firm. I say she's a partner at the law firm. And Latasha Brown, co-founder of voting rights group Black Voters Matter. Anyway, typical things that they allow us to be a part of because it really doesn't affect them. It doesn't threaten them. Continue to control this country. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below and then share it with the world again. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, hit the super chats, hit the super thanks, become a member. These perks help the channel grow, help the channel improve. I got a lot of things in the works, but just be patient. Just be patient. This channel is going to do great things, and anything's behind, especially in the community, which is my goal in the first place. With that being said, I leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.